What are your artistic bents? Where do you find your cultural solace?
Well, what do you mean? I mean, I'm not particularly talented as an artist. Let me put that out there. That's not a big disappointment for people, but I love, like, I have eclectic taste in music, and I love art and art history and going to museums, and so. But I admire it, but I'm not very good at.
But falconry is a big thing in your life.
Yeah,
What do you get from falconry?
I have always had an affinity for the outdoors and for nature. And for me, I read, when my uncle was in the White House, there were a lot of people talking about Camelot, and I read T.H. White's book, The Once and Future King. He's a British falconer and an incredible writer. And it's about the story of young King Arthur, and there was a chapter there on falconry, on training hawks, which was very popular, in the Middle Ages. It was the most popular sport. And when I read that chapter, I fell in love with it, and I became obsessed with it. And as it turned out, there was a guy who lived about a mile from my house who was one of the great pioneers of American falconry. His name was Alvin Nye, and my father knew about him. He was designing jets for the Pentagon, but my father knew about him because the State Department, whenever they were visiting Arab dignitaries, they would send them to this guy's house because the Arabs are crazy for falconry. And so I was able, because of my father's contact with them, I was able to apprentice under him, and I learned falconry beginning when I was 9 years old.
What's it given you, falconry?
It's it's like being you're with a predatory bird and you're hunting in the wild. Usually I hunt with 2 birds at a time. And it's like being allowed, they don't change their behavior they're doing nothing that they wouldn't do in the wild.
Right.
But you're observing them close up, so it's like being allowed to hunt with a wolf pack, and who wouldn't want to do that?
And do you see an analogy to what you're doing now to the other Democratic candidates?
Not really.
Are you hunting Joe Biden down like a wolf pack?
But I do, preserving the environment and giving other kids the opportunity to enjoy the richness of those kind of experience of the outdoors is one of I'd say, the spirit of my campaign that we need to,
Well, the other spirit of your campaign is your youthful vigour, and we've seen some tremendous videos of you here in action, working out here, which have got everyone going. I mean, obviously, we look at this and we see a man in peak physical condition. Congratulations. But we also are reminded of President Biden's, let's put it kindly, lack of comparative physical condition. How concerned are you, never mind the race, but how concerned are you when you see President Biden now in public, the sheer volume of missteps, both verbal and physical? Does it concern you as an American that the president seems to be...
I don't really think that I have any additional wisdom to contribute to that debate. I think that I haven't seen President Biden in a couple of years, and I don't know. I saw him trip on the stage, but anybody can, as you know, anybody can trip on a stage, and so I don't really know what his condition is. There are worrying, videos and stuff, but
do you sense that he may not actually run in 2024 when it comes to it? And is that why you think you actually have a real chance of potentially becoming the Democrat nominee?
I think I have a chance of becoming the Democratic nominee because my numbers are better at beating Republicans than him. So, and I think that's what the Democratic
Should the party make him stand aside for you?
Well, that's first of all, that's not going to happen. Oh,
but doesn't that have to happen to let you beat him?
No. I mean, I have to win some primaries.
And you think you can actually beat him in primaries?
I think I can beat him in the primaries.
I mean, it'd be incredible. I mean, pretty much unprecedented if you do that, right, to an incumbent president.
It's, I think Reagan did that against Gerald Ford.
Right.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, it's unusual. But my father ran against an incumbent president, and he would have won. My uncle Teddy ran against incumbent President Carter and lost.
And do you actually believe...
He won something like 37 states.
Do you actually believe that in 2024, when we get to December, January, you will be the person on Inauguration Day addressing the American people.
Okay, I'm going to be very objective about this, but I'm telling you that
We have a few seconds left.
if I had to put money and bet on any candidate, I would put it on me.
That's good enough. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a great pleasure to meet you.
If I was a gambling man.
Well, I'm a gambling man. I might have a pot myself. Good to see you.